Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And how do you do? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And God loves you. Woo, woo. That's right. Edwina B. Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Coming to you just the way I am. Because my God, who I now have a personal relationship, woke me up just like this. Hair all messed up, right? Teeth all out. But guess what? I'm alive. And I give him the honor, the glory, the praise, the hallelujah, and the worship. But most importantly, the acknowledgement. Now, can I, put my teeth in? Can I put my cotton ones in? Can I comb my hair? See, this is the beauty of being authentic and transparent. I'm telling you, listen, look, less than 30 seconds. That's why I love the fact that through my spiritual journey of my whole really entire life, but it didn't come to light until I met darkness. Yes, underneath a parked car nearly 34 years ago. And so I understand now that life is a journey and that I will go through any and all things until such time I recognize that I am not God, neither are you, and that I will need this creator, whoever made all of this possible. No matter what the conditions, no matter what the situations, the fact that we are alive. The five agreements call it an illusion, and also a big dream. But guess what? As long as you can hear me, touch me, feel me, guess what? I'm going to take advantage of it. Yes. So when I am touched with the gift of life each and every moment and each and every morning, with each and every breath, I no longer take it for granted, and neither should you. So, welcome to the Free to Hope morning conversation with me, Edwina B, Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. And you see why they call me that, right? I call myself that. I listen. I love being transparent and I love being authentic because it took me a while to get to this point in my life. But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And as long as I continue on my spiritual journey and the spiritual student continues to be ready, the spiritual teachers will continue to show up and teach me where I need to go next. Yes, the spiritual student is ready. The spiritual teachers will appear. So, free to hope. From recovery, emerge empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. Do you know that you were born to serve? I didn't know that. I thought you were supposed to serve me. What? It's over 6 billion people in this world. Could you imagine all of us trying to be served? Oh my gosh. But I can't think about that right now. What I can think about is that my creator, who I now know and have a personal relationship with, see, that's the key, a personal relationship with the God of my understanding, has given me the ability to know and realize that he needs me. He wants me to be of service to him so that I can be of service to you. You got that? Let's take a drink to that. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. So, yes, through my journey, I found out that I was born to serve. And it's interesting because, this is a conversation. It's interesting because as we go through life, we go about it not really knowing to some extent what the hell we're doing. Because we only know what we know when we know it. We could have all these projections and plans and all of that, but guess what? What are I am doing presently to make those things manifest? Is it all in our minds? Is it all in our dreams? I don't know, but I had to find out through my own journey, and so do you. And so when I think about being free from recovery, emerge empowered for the purpose of giving hope to others. People gave me hope that with a co-occurring disease that included mental illness and substance abuse and all the related behaviors, ideas, attitudes, actions, placed me underneath a parked car nearly 34 years ago. That's right. That's right. That was my knee bowing experience. And that was the beginning of my coming into the light and the end of my darkness. So ain't no such thing as a boogeyman. It was all in my mind, right? And it was all in my choices of attitudes, ideas, and behaviors. But guess what? I had to learn them from somebody. I had to learn them from something. So it just didn't pop into me. No. We are creatures of habit. So I've learned. And therefore, I must have modeled and imitated and emulated a lot of things that I saw, heard, felt, what? Yes, to bring me to the point where I am now. So guess what? I was 34 years old while underneath that parked car. Yep. And so it's amazing that now that I'm 68, I am 68. Thank God he's on sacred time and not secular time, because age is just a number. My God, that I know now and personally have a relationship with. I can't emphasize that enough. Says no matter what number you think you have or will be, I know each and every hair on your head. Ooh, you ever go to a barber shop and, oh my, that's a lot, right? And I can't even fathom, right? But I understand just a little bit more now because the student became ready underneath that parked car and the teacher appeared. And so being put on this journey of recovery at the age of 34, yes, I had to recognize that it's never, ever too late to ask for help. As Bishop George E. Gibson II shared at Benjamin Twinby's Brown service the other day, Mayday, Mayday, help me. And that's what I said underneath that parked car. Help me. Whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. And so it is the purpose of our life's journey to reach a point through all of our experiences to get to that time in our realization that we need help. We begin to wonder, was I destined to be a drug addict, an alcoholic, a prostitute? Was I destined to commit murder as a prostitute? Was I destined to be underneath a parked car? Guess what? Those things happened. Yes, they did. They happened. So I need to know not what's wrong with me, but what happened to me for me to make those decisions and find myself in those situations and circumstances. What happened? So no longer do I beat myself up or be ashamed of things I did and things I said. They happened. But it's not too late, Edwina, because we have some spiritual tools that you can use if you only avail yourself to them, pick them up, use them, and practice them to the best of your ability. And so when I go back to find out what happened to me, I found the resources that I didn't understand, didn't have a clue about. And if it was anything about religion, and that's what it was, nothing about spirituality. It was only spirituality I knew was Casper the Friendly Ghost. Oh, and so when I embarked on this journey, after asking this creator who I didn't know to take me out or show me a better way, the mask had to come off. The mask had to be torn away. The mask had to be stripped, peeled off. The mask that concealed things that I needed to reveal in order for me to heal. The mask must go. But they can't go based on what I knew or even what I know. It's about spiritual tools and resources that's going to help me unravel and peel those layers of onions, layers and layers of onions, away. I can't do it. Mayday, Mayday, help me to find out who I was destined to be. And so these spiritual resources and tools that I want to share with you in person on my virtual classes, in my master classes, in my boot camp. Yes, I want to share with you how I was given, shown these spiritual tools in order to find out not what's wrong with me, but what happened to me so that I can begin to live the life of service that my creator destined for me to be. Okay, so they included the 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous that came out of the Bible. So the 12-step spiritual program was not based on religion. It was based on spirituality. Because during my history of the two previous movements of the Washingtonians, who were a temperance group on trying to stop drinking, and it was the religious Oxford group who tried to use religion to help them to stop drinking. No, we needed a psychic change, according to Dr. Carl Jung. Right? He said we needed divine providence, divine intervention to address our illness. And it says in our literature, all human beings are ill to some extent. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are, boo-boo. Yes, you are. It's okay. Guess what? You're not alone. But do we want to recover? Do we want to find out how we became the way we became? What thoughts prompted us to think this way? What behaviors did we see? Did we imitate? Did we emulate, right? To get what we want? Did we hear things that we repeated because it sounds so good, but it was doing so much harm to the spirit that occupies this body? Yes, but when I think about the spirit of my creator, it's all good. But guess what? I've also learned that there are other spirits that can occupy this body based on what I hear, based on what I see, based on what I imitate, right? Based on what I model. Yes, the spirit of deceit, the spirit of lust, the spirit of ego, the spirit of pride, all those things, until such time and my knee bowing experience, I needed to know about the fruit of the Spirit. Heard about it, didn't know nothing about it, right? Because I allowed, due to my ignorance, to be led by other spirits. You know what I'm talking about, right? But it's through my knee bowing experience that ah, there's a better way. And the better way is the spiritual way, okay? And so I also want to share with you, right? Right? And I shared that yesterday, right? Where do we start? Where to begin? I've been getting so many comments and I've been getting so many likes because people don't understand or recognize that they're broken and broke. They no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Really? No, you're not. We are broken and we are broke because of situations, circumstances, right? The nature of being a human, right? And living in this materialistic world, right? Here on this earth, right? Living the life that we know nothing about, really. All we know is what we see and what we hear, right? What we can taste, what we can feel, but there's more to it than that. And that's the purpose I've learned of going through the journey called life. But this time, after having my knee bowing experience based on the decisions I made, right? The choices I made. You know how we were 7, 8 years old, 10, 12, 14. I know me. I'm going out. I know who I am. That's what we thought. That's what we felt. And we acted accordingly until we had a very, very rude awakening. Then, for some reason, through humiliation, we gained some humility. Maybe I don't know. Can you let me back in? Help me. I'm ready to listen in. Yes, yes, until that ego and pride rears its head again and again and again and again until such time, whatever it is and whatever it will take, we will surrender all. Doesn't matter what the age. It's when the student becomes ready that the teacher will appear. And once we are put on that path of wanting to know what happened to us and no longer thinking that there's something wrong with us, we become open-minded. We become honest. We become willing to find out, how did I become broken and broke? And what spiritual tools are available for me to have spiritual breakthroughs to wholeness? Spiritual wholeness, spiritual wealth. Yes. And so I share with you every day in one way, shape, form, or fashion the same message until it resonates within you. Yes. See, I've learned that you can tell the same story to different people in different ways, but it's the same story. Yes. I listen, y'all. When I was in I gotta share this, right? When I was in one of those rehabs and I thought I knew what I was talking about and I knew about me and y'all don't know me, y'all just met me. You see the body language, y'all don't know me, da 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 da. And the counselor said, Edwina, a couple things, and this I'm getting hot now. She said a couple things. At this one meeting where they had all of my care team, if you will, the counselor, the psychologist, the psychiatrist, the case manager, right? They all had me in this room, and they basically said, since nobody can tell you about you, why don't you tell us about you? And I'm like, huh? See, I was so used to manipulating for attention. I told you the first addiction I had was getting my dad's attention. So I was so used to manipulating for it. When it was given to me, I was like, mm. But for some reason that I found out later, I got the opportunity to hear myself tell myself the truth as I was telling it to them. They asked me, Edwina, what happens to you every time you picked up a drink or a drug? What happened? Yeah, what happened? And I'm like, okay, well, it started with a thought. And I entertained that thought. I'm gonna go through it kind of quickly, right? Because I don't have that much time. But when you see me in person or you in one of my classes, I'll go deeper. Yeah, but it always started with a thought. The feeling of a hit, the feeling of the drink going down. And I began to fantasize about it, the feeling. And there's times my stomach will start turning. I get diarrhea because of the anticipation. And then I said, I usually go to the closet, and once I entertain that thought, right, I go to the closet and I put on my makeup and my clothes and everything, right. I'm carrying the image that I'm all that. Right? So I always dressed up the outside. And then the thought came, okay, now that I'm made up, now that I got that thought, let me get my purse to see how much money I got, because that will determine how long I can drink and get high. That determines how I can call the shots. So I always would get my purse to see how much money I had. But see, unknowingly to me, I did not recognize and didn't want to recognize that money was going to run out. And it always did. And so when I would go in, so when I got the clothes on, the attitude, and I got the money, now I'm off. And I walk into the bar or I walk into the hit house like I'm John Wayne or somebody, right? Yes, look at me, here I am. Right. And so the people, and I did it to people too. Oh, here's Edwina, here's Johnny. Oh, we're going to get this party started, right? And slowly but surely, right, the money started dwindling. The drinks started dwindling. The crack started dwindling. And then once the money was gone, I told him, she said, well, what happened? I said, I started using collateral, my clothes, earrings, shoes off my feet, right? Anything to get a drink or a drug. And I said, some of the times they took it. Those people just took it. But I was so desperate for that drink or that drug or that money, right? I didn't care. So I thought, but I really did care. And so once the money was gone, the collateral was gone, a flashback from my past came. Whether she should have or she shouldn't, my mother always told us her 4 girls, and especially my aunt, a woman doesn't ever have to be broke. What does that mean? Oh, did I find out? Because I started prostituting. Yes, the money was gone, the collateral was gone. I looked around the room, start giving the signals. Yeah. The only time I stopped prostituting, I was too tired, too sore, or too funky to continue. Yes. And they said, Edwina, what happened next? I said, I started stealing from anything and everybody. Yes. And I started going to different places and all. And so after I said what my pattern was, see, what I just described to you happened every time. That's how we begin to get in touch about what happened to us, not what's wrong with us, right? And so after I shared my pattern, they asked me one question. They said, Edwina, based on what you said about you, do you think you are powerless over alcohol and that your life had become unmanageable? I said, you damn right. Wow, I heard myself tell myself the truth about what I did, what I thought, how I behaved. I heard myself tell myself the truth. Wow, what an awakening. Remember, I told you when I asked this God who I didn't know to take me out this life or show me a better way, I did not recognize that the seed was being planted right here, right now, with these teams of people. Huh? I didn't stop then, but the seed was planted. You see what I mean? Oh my God. So she said, well, Edwina, now that you heard yourself tell yourself the truth, we want you to do one more thing. I said, what's that? She said, put your hand in front of your face. I was like, huh? She said, put your hand in front of your face. So I put my hand in front of my face right now. I was, I'm just showing you, but I had my face actually covered with my hand. She said, Edwina, what do you see? I said, I see my hand. She said, Edwina, what do you see? I said, I see my hand. She said, Edwina, what do you? I said, I see my hand. Hey. She said, that's the point. All you see is what you see. All you know is what you know. As long as you have your hand up, you will not get the help that's available. But if you put your hand down, the 8 of us can tell you what we see, and you can begin to get the help that you need. What? The light bulb went off. Oh my God. It was like another seed was planted. As long as I had my hand up, it was me, 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 me. No, 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 no. Put your hand down and let us tell you what we see and how you can get the help that you need. Yes. And so that set the foundation of me telling myself the truth, being authentic and transparent. I said the beginning, right? That's what I said the beginning, right? A seed had to be planted somewhere, and it was planted there. How much time I got? Okay. And so remember I told y'all when I thought I was so smart and I knew everything. So these are the couple of things that kind of raveled me, right? She said, Edwina, every time you went to treatment, for crack, you was in denial about alcohol, but you always shared that alcohol was the first drug that you used, right? And so every time you said you left rehab from crack, you celebrated it with alcohol. Bam. But then you also said that every time you drank alcohol, it led you back to crack. Didn't you say that? I was like, yeah, because it became obvious. I didn't think it in the beginning, but my experience showed me that was what was happening. And so she said, well, you need to get in touch with your alcoholism because maybe if you don't pick up the drink, you won't pick up the crack. She also said, when you go to rehab, you go for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. She said, nah, we suggest you go away for a year. I was like, a year? Wow. She said, well, how long you been getting high? I was like 14 years. She was like, oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I need to go away for a year. I need to change my environment. I need to change my scene. I need to go into a recovery community. And so after, recognizing that I had a decision to make, whether I was going all the way or I wasn't going, another seed was planted. No, I'm going all the way. Okay, and so she also said, we want you to make 90 meetings in 90 days. I was like, wow, that's a whole lot of meetings. She said, well, do me a favor, Edwina. Can you make a meeting a day for 3 months? I said, sure, I can do that. I can do that. I was so smart. I knew everything. but it took someone who I didn't think know me, knows me. Yes. And see, my creator knows me. My creator put people, places, and things in my life, just like the enemy did, right? But the enemy was coming here to steal, destroy, and kill. But the God that I now know has been with me every day, every time since I've existed, even before I existed. But I had to go through in order to get through to see what I've been through. And so my time is up. I just want to share with you what we're going to tap into tomorrow. You know, we're still going to dissect the mask, right, that I've been talking about. We're also going to be identifying the situations and circumstances that bring about our mask, right? And then I want to also share with you how I'm going to ask you these questions. Let me take this off, right? So, the overview of my workshops, my sessions, my conversations are basically geared towards, do you want to find out who you were destined to be? Do you want to find out who you were destined to be? That is the beginning. That is the beginning. That is the beginning of finding out not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you, right? And then the next question is, where do I start? And you see how I've been sharing with you different points of where I start, right? And what it involves. And then we're going to ask you, how do I start? And I'm going to show you how it started for me. And then the last question is, what am I looking for? Okay? What am I looking for? I want you to ponder on that question or these series of questions as you go through the day. Because right now, I have to prepare to go to my 7:30 a.m. meeting. I told you I stay connected, right? But these are the things as a result of my knee bowing experience that helped me to want to remove the mask. No makeup, no fingernail polish, right? If I could go about without these dentures, I would. If I could go about without no clothes, I love being transparent and authentic. Yes. And if there's more that will be revealed, I want to know what happened so I can use these spiritual tools to become of service, continued service to the God of my understanding. Have a blessed day. If it's God's will that we are joined tomorrow, I'll be here, and I hope you will be too. Be blessed.